It is time. We have been at this for over 7 weeks at this point. Uh, you are watching the ALTTPR League Season 5. We are in the playoffs. Like I mentioned there, we have been at this for over 7 weeks. There, you are going to be watching today a courage match between these two players. Each of the two teams has nominated one of their runners to be a certain thing. Courage people, they run casual boots on the left side of your screen. There, you've got. Don't forget to track us there with Ike here on the right side. To Infinity and Pgog, going to be represented by Will WC. My name is Dazed Cloud. I'm going to be one of your commentators today. I'm joined in the booth today by Wolflink. How are you doing there, sir?
Good evening, everyone. I'm doing fairly good. So the road to get here is kind of an interesting one for our two teams here, as they are both members of the Misery Miner Division. So this is basically an extension of their group stage here. Tuvin and Pgog went 10-4 to secure third place overall in the division, and don't forget to track us, secured fourth place overall. And they apparently, in the total bracket, had enough of a difference here to just fight each other here as we get started with casual boots. This is the only text box.
That's exactly what you want to see in mode like this, right? We're going to start off nice and easy. You're going to get an ice rod, so that means Turtle Rock is going to be a pendant today. Sorry, everybody. There you go.
And we are going to be doing the standard world state for here as part of casual boots. You can also see we've already started using those boots. We're not going to be able to use our sword yet, actually, because it's a kind of a weird quirk about standard mode. Even if you start with a sword, you can't use it until you talk to Uncle.
Yeah, you're right here. So we're going to run through here, going to dash through the bushes like we actually have the sword active, but we don't have it active yet. Then we talk to Uncle, and there you go. Now we can start swinging it and kill some things. Get 300 rupees, pick up a little bit of magic there on both sides. And like you mentioned, this is your casual boots start here. So we're going to be taking this sword, taking these boots, and running through the beginning of Hyrule Castle, the escape sequence here. Going to go pick up Zelda, take her to the Sanctuary, and then the game really begins.
Right, now, normally there's a whole thing about dark rooms here, but thankfully with the standard world state, we don't have to worry about the lamp being forced upon us early because, well, simply put, they decide to, hey, let's just give you a free light cone exclusively for the escape sequence.
Yeah, and that's true. And then the other thing as well there is both runners showing off some game knowledge. They're going, hey, I've got an ice rod. I can take care of this guy really quick, these blue guards, by just using the ice rod. The other thing, though, is that since we are doing a boot start here, when we get to the back of escape, we're not going to have to worry about not having bombs. We can just go ahead and immediately bonk into the wall there and get to those 3 items there that are hiding in the back of escape.
Yeah, there's going to be 3 guaranteed items there as we find the map. There is going to be also the small key, but we're going to find that before Dark Cross. Or at Dark Cross, even.
Yeah, small key will be guaranteed in one of these next 2 chests here, either Zelda Cell or Dark Cross, like you mentioned. As both runners make their way down here, Ike is going to have a little bit of fun here. We're going to use we're going to freeze a green guard, toss him directly at the ball and chain guard, which does tempered sword damage. Go ahead and get this. Find out that his the ice stun prize here is a bomb itself. So now he's got 1 bomb over Will, which isn't really a big thing. Runners of this caliber know of the bonk rocks outside Kakariko that you can just bonk into to get a bomb before going in there.
That's correct, and they also know about some 50-50 bushes that they can cut along the way. I don't believe there's any along North Kakariko, but that's not going to be that big a deal. They'll have plenty of money for bombs with that 300 rupees they picked up earlier, if nothing else.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, at this point here, worst case scenario, you probably would go ahead and get the... you probably go ahead and, if all things remain the same, you won't end up with no bombs going here. You probably bonk twice there to make sure that you grab the bombs needed for the back of the well, back of Blind's hut. And then if you don't get lucky there and get any bombs out of those 10 chests, then you probably go and buy some bombs before hitting the chicken house there.
Yeah, and the bonk rocks, they are a guaranteed drop, thankfully, but the bonk animation makes it a little bit on the slow side, and then of course you have to reset the area which is a little bit difficult, or at least time consuming, because you have to go through the what is it? The fortune teller's house, I believe it is.
Yeah, the fortune teller house is the quickest one, yeah. But we're gonna see if that's actually something that we need to worry about with these guys. Like once we get up to the rats, we don't know. Maybe the rats will be on the bomb prize pack here, or we're just gonna get bombs out of Dark Cross and make this entire point moot.
That is actually a nice thing to see as well.
All right, so we're gonna finish our little escape sequence here. We're just gonna run back, kill this one little key rat who can hopefully not dash up into the top left corner for these guys. Neither of the key rats did, so lucky them. And now it's time to see what the last 3 items are in here, and they are guaranteed because we did see the map there in the boomerang chest earlier. And gonna get a glove.
Yeah, always a nice find to see a glove. We also got some more explosives there as well. So looking pretty nice here. And it looks like the rats aren't part of any drop table. If they are, they're being very stingy.
Yeah, it does kind of look that way. That's unfortunate for these guys there. You would take the free stuff if it gave it to you, but if the game's not going to give it to you, there you go. As both runners go ahead and exit Sanctuary there, under 520 there, so pretty good rates for both of these guys. They're not going to be too angry with that there. Ike, you're getting maybe a second or two ahead of there of Will WC.
Speaking of which, we are hearing Will's speed, and you can hear that we do have the MSU here. I believe it is the F-Zero one, so some good tracks we hit listen to here if he stays in the lead. Tony the Block Rock Cave, meanwhile.
I have to say, for casual boots there, that F-Zero track is excellent. As we get a quick look, I want to say there was 5-6 crystals at Hera and Eastern there, and a regular crystal down in
Desert, yes.
Desert,
I can reconfirm it was both 5-6s, so you did not just see that. So we already know our red crystal information for the scene. It's pretty early, actually. That could open up a lot of items to potentially at the Pyramid Ferry.
I wonder if these guys had a gentleman's agreement here, because casual boots, neither of these guys ran up to go check Lumberjack here. Just deciding not to do that, as we find a mirror sitting at the mushroom spot here in the Lost Woods.
Poultry, meanwhile, is a full magic drop. That's going to be good. I think you're going to reroute here and go check Aga. And it looks like Will is going to be doing the same.
Now, both of these guys have played each other many, many times. These guys are extremely, extremely familiar with each other. So I'm honestly not overly surprised that they're kind of doing that. I have no idea what that is.
I believe that was a red rupee.
All right, cool, because I did not catch that on the screen at all. As Bushcrap giving out free money here, so Will's going to take a second here. He's going to get a whole bunch of it. He even got the special prize there that you get after catching a few more of those.
He did indeed. Now, of course, so in case you were wondering about how the scoring of this works, this is a best of 5 for the playoffs here. Each of the first 3 matches are going to be done with different runners, with Courage doing casual boots as we're seeing here. I believe Wisdom is doing a specific one as well, and then Power is doing one that's to their pick.
Yeah, you're right. Wisdom would be doing, I want to say, the Pseudo Boots Cross Keys match, and Power is, dealer's choice, basically, there. So we're going to wait to see exactly which one of those goes through there. You can look down at the bottom of your screen there. When you see those 3 triangles get filled up there with pieces of Triforce, that means that team will be continuing on to the next round of the playoffs. So we get a Cane
Yeah.
of Samaria up there on the
Yeah,
on
so
Spectacle Rock. Yeah. Sorry.
there's our Darkhold information. Ice, Turtle Rock, and Skull Woods is our pendants. Wow, we
Wow.
could have a fire rod in GT, I believe.
Not a fire route in GT, but because we need it for whoa, no wait, Skull Woods, you're right. Skull Woods, you're right. I read that as Misery Mire in my head for a second there. But yeah, you're right. We could have a fire rod in GT today. Come on, let's have fire rod up at Moldorm too. Let's get wacky with this right now.
That would be wacky. So, just to be a little bit clearer about this, so the higher seed of the power players chooses one of, I believe it looks to be 5 different options here. I'm not going to spoil which ones they are, of course. And then if it goes to game 4, then the reverse happens, which the lower seed gets to pick. And then if for some reason it goes to a game 5, then it goes into a co-op retrans race to decide who is moving on. And I believe this is single elimination, so once a team goes out, they are done.
Yep. Kind of hoping we get a couple of those co-op retrants game 5 ones. We did co-op retrants in the league here in week 4, and it was just so much fun. They are fun to play. They're fun to do. If you want to just grab a buddy and go ahead and do that, I would highly recommend it here. As we're still looking for an item here in in this. We're still looking for an item here in Hera, as both runners have gone all the way to the top here and found a whole lot of nothing. Will's not going to bother with the bomb jump here. Looks like he's going to go down the other way.
Meanwhile, Iker doing a very nice save and preventing himself from falling in the pit near to the big chest. That was quite a near thing.
Yeah, and not exactly NMG level equipment here right now. Well, we do have boots, we do have swords, but those 3 hearts are a few less than you would typically have at this point if you're playing NMG. But we'll see how these guys do with their fighter sword Moldorm fight here. Iker looking to be handling this very well.
Yeah, last hit now. The Moldorm's going to get really fast here. Oh, no! Center pit's a really bad spot. That's going to be down 2 floors. That's a huge time loss.
Yeah, Moldorm is chasing Will around at the moment here, so like that ice rod shot is
Will might just straight die here. He's got to be really careful here. Using the boost to great effect. Well done. Nice recovery there.
There we are.
And rewarded with bombos.
Crystal number 1. Yep, for over there on Will WC's side. Iker is going to go back to his fight here. You can see if he has a little bit better luck on round 2.
Now, bombos opens up Fire Enemy in Ice Palace, which is also a pretty rude spot for it, all things considering.
Man, Iker is really being aggressive there with that Moldorm kill. He's going for the enraged Moldorm and is charging at him with his sword out instead of kind of letting Moldorm come to him. Either way, it takes him down, and we're just not going to go to Kakariko here over on Will's side. We're going south down to South Shore.
It's kind of interesting to see people avoiding Kakariko, considering how intense it is. I guess they want a bottle or a flute to just fully sweep that entire area and don't have to come back.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the hope there, that you've got the bottle, you get a flute or something, you can just one shot the entire area there. It's a little less of an issue skipping Kakariko, I think, in my mind, when you have boots, because you're not so much risking the idea that I'm leaving boots in Kakariko, my opponent's going to get to them earlier. I mean, it's a risk no matter which way you go here, but you already have boots, so you don't have to worry about necessarily not getting them at first.
Or seeing a heart container, the magic powder here so far from Iker. Meanwhile, we're going to see Mini Moldorm. We also saw the dam earlier, and I don't think there was anything there of note. Didn't notice it at least.
No, I didn't see anything either. We're going to get a boomerang here at a mini Moldorm cave, a couple pieces of heart, and a cape, which we're going to look at with a little bit of suspicion right now, considering we don't have a good way of getting into Dark World yet.
No, we don't. Here comes the well.
And powder being the only thing in Blind's Hut of note there is going to get it, as Ikir go ahead and gets Blue Mail out of the back of the well here. And yeah, so far, Skip and Kakariko doesn't seem to be hurting Will at all.
Oh boy.
That's an interesting place for a book. Okay, well, Will also there setting up a water walk, so he's going to be able to do a couple of little fancy tricks here in just a second, as Ikir is going to continue through the rest of this. Going to bomb open the chicken hut, grab a couple of bombs there, refill his bomb count.
Water walk shows Lake Hylia Island only having 20 rupees. We're going to see what's up by Zora now. A lot of bombs in Kakariko.
Yeah, I mean, for as much as I was talking about early game, like, oh, we might need to find bombs, and oh, that's really bad for Will right there. He's now got to jump out of this water without getting crabbed. As I guess it's not terrible for him, but it also means that he doesn't just get to dash all over everything here, as he's had to jump out. So not going to get punished by what's on the ledge there, as that's just 10 arrows, and Ike are going to make the way to just do a blind race game dive here.
Yeah, so far Kakariko has not proving to be too valuable here. Maybe the race game will have something here, and it does. It has a bottle, which is our first, which means we can now go back and do the sick kid. Zora, meanwhile, only 20 rupees. This overworld is being very stingy, and I am starting to suspect this may be an Agassi just because we're not getting anything good.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that might be the case too. We still need a lamp to make Aga an actual thing here. We do having that book kind of is a funny thing here, as it turns out that Will's route back through Kakariko going to be slightly more efficient than Ikir's, because he's going to come through the bottom C race game and then be able to get Sick Kid as he's going directly into this.
Yeah, and if Will wants to, even he can extend this route and just go check the pedestal, which
That's true.
I don't think it's gonna matter too much because of where all our pendants are, but there could still be like the flippers there. Oh no, they can't. No, I'm speaking wrong here because of Ice Palace.
I mean, but there is always the Misery Mire medallion. That's always an option there. You could always run into Hookshot as well. A couple of, I mean, you're right that it's not likely, but this game specializes in things that are not likely. It seems like at times.
Yeah, we've seen crazy with the randomizer.
All right, Ikir looks like he's gonna try to get his money situation up towards the 500 mark there, so he can go up and take care of Zora while he's here. Is not quite gonna get there. So unfortunately, the bush crab deciding to run away and then killing it the second time. Gonna have to rely on the hope that one of these next couple of checks here is gonna have what he needs.
I believe there was at least some money in the chest here at Mini World here, so he should be fine.
I mean, it's 3 rupees. At worst case scenario, you just start killing you just start killing some enemies here. As Red Cane to kill some mini Moldorms there. That might help you there if you get a little bit of friendly Moldorm RNG, which not exactly the most friendly I've seen, but it's there. Alright, Boomerang and Cape acquired by Ike here. Will going through, picking up his bombs after bombs after bombs after bombs here in Kakariko. Alright, right, one Buzz Blob killed on Ike side. Gets him over that 500 rupee mark there, so he'll be able to go and get scammed by Azora there, lose his 500 rupees, get 20 bucks back. A nice investment.
And meanwhile, we have Will now doing Kakariko Village.
All right, so what we're kind of looking at right now, we've got access to be able to enter Desert Palace. We cannot complete it until we get a fire source, which I think we're both kind of assuming will be the lamp. Would be kind of funny if it just turns out the fire rod is just right here somewhere.
I would be surprised about an early fire rod too, to be fair. The scene there is no there is that worry that it's going to be late, but it could show up early. We don't know yet.
Yeah, it's hard to say because like right now both of these guys are just retracing each other's steps here, and I think Will's going to do exactly what you mentioned there, Wolflink. He's going to take this thing up to the pedestal for this really, I guess, kind of unlikely, but you know, it's good for him to know, good for him to have that knowledge that whether or not something is actually here.
Actually, now that you mentioned it, it could also be the flute, now that I think about it, because if it's the flute, then that's a hard all dungeons there, because we need the flute to get to the Maya regardless of the pendant situation, or medallion, rather.
Oh, and interesting over on Ikir's side. He still has his water walk active, so he's going to go ahead and take this thing over to, take this dash all the way over to, the hobo here, looks like.
Yeah, a little bit of a miniature high five here as they transition to the other screen.
I didn't even see what was on Ped there. Was it anything interesting?
Maximum health. It's just a container.
This is what I figured. I didn't see anyone getting really excited about it, unfortunately, so or we'll just kind of say, all right, whatever.
Mushroom found, meanwhile. And a single arrow.
Man. Do you just go check that mushroom like right now and just say forget this area there? As
I don't think you do. You might as well just go in here and finish it up.
I mean, every part of you right now is screaming, oh god, the mushroom's got something. Every single part of you is screaming that.
Yeah, I mean, I would say check it, but do after Eastern. Because you can reset the Sanctuary and just go east. Or to go to Link's house and do a fake flipper setup to just warp there. And we see now, the ICure has found the hook shot. Unfortunately, I don't think we saw what was at the hobo. But the hook shot adds a little bit of... Ooh, actually... No. East Death Mountain is not on logic right now. We don't have a lamp or a flute to put in there.
I would say that we don't have the lamp yet. it's seeming to me very much that we're going to find one here pretty quick as Ike, you're making his way into Desert Palace. We're going to find out if we can find a lamp or something like that in here and perhaps be able to actually go ahead and complete this dungeon.
It looks like our tracker, Rel, can be in some extra eyes here. Here's scouting out that the hobo, whatever it was, is nothing of importance for us here. So shout out to our tracker once again for being diligent in that regard. Big key on the torch here, not a big deal because we start with boots.
Let's go get the small key here out of the left side as Eastern not having anything to speak of here for Will. We're into the stuff that is actually locked behind a fire source. Yeah,
and if he's going back here, he did at least have the big key, so I don't remember if that was on the front or on the right side. But he's found at least one item in here.
Yeah, he's I want to say he's found two. I want to say because I did see the piece of heart out of the chest as Ikir puts two and two together there and goes, well, there's only two items in Desert Palace, and well, I just got two, so that is not the answer. So it looks like where we need to be going here is that mushroom for whatever progression is. So that's going to tell you that mushroom is likely either lamp or it's flute, I think. Or else the game doesn't make a lot of sense.
Lamp or flute, I would agree.
And Will's going to show us that information here pretty quick because we are into this. I guess you could also be, if the game wants to get funky there, we do have that powder. Could throw a hammer there and say, hey, you need to go to Magic Bat.
Let's see what's here at the Paradox Cave here. Get a bow, actually.
Oh, very good find there for Ikir, because that might be a double dip situation there for Will.
And it is in fact the hammer from the mushroom.
Can I say I've played this game before, Wolflink? I've played this game before.
Now, hammer does put whatever Ikir is doing in logic as a no, because we can go up from Hera and down the mountain that way.
True. That is true. Yeah, I forgot about that. Saying we do have the mirror. We are able to go that way as well.
So the bow we have is in logic. Nothing else to speak of, though.
Yeah. With that bow in logic, maybe, I mean, at this point, you're looking at Spiral Cave being the other real big option. What that was, that looked like Samaria. It was not Samaria.
No, it's Red Boomerang.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, okay, wait a second there. I was like, I know we got that a second ago, so.
Alright, so this is gonna be... Well, actually, wait, we skipped something, didn't we?
Oh, it's on powder. Yeah, the lamp or the it's either our lamp or our moon pearl or something is on powder right now. Because at the moment we don't have, access to the rest of the game here. Ikir's going to let us know if something is actually on Armos Knights here, because even though he lacks the ability currently to see in the dark here, he doesn't particularly need it. He already knows where everything is, so he'll go through. There's a chance that an Igor could get him, but I'm not expecting it's a pretty high chance.
Yeah, at this point, it's either Lamp or Moon Pearl. Flute cannot be progression anymore, at least at this stage. So we're going to be looking to maybe get... I think the signs are pointing us towards a lamp, I think.
You're going to go lamp? You don't want to go Moon Pearl? You're going to say Moon Pearl's on the pyramid there today? Or on...
I'm not going to say... I'm not sure.
We got a Moon Pearl. Here's our choices right now. We've got Moon Pearl at powder. We've got Moon Pearl at... Armos Knights here on Armos Knights, or we've got Moon Pearl on the pyramid, which means we all have to sit through a good 4 minutes of climbing Aga Tower and killing a wizard. So place your bets, everyone. As Will gets his second item out of Desert.
Can I throw a fourth scenario at you?
Yeah, sure, go for it. What do you got?
Lamp at Magic Bat. And then either the Titan's Mints or the Flute on Pyramid, and the other one is on Armos Knights, and the Moon Pearl is on Checkerboard Cave.
Okay, all right. I will raise. I see your method here. I will raise you one. We get a Master Sword somewhere, and it's on Ether Tablet. Ain't this game fun?
This game is definitely fun when it comes to logic what-ups here. But let's see what we actually have to deal with here, as we're seeing the Magic Bat tournament right now.
All right, is this the answer? We're going to find out that Will is going to get from our friend Bat Moon Pearl. So that is access to the Dark World. Going to save and quit there. Instead of going directly into the Dark World there at in the area, I guess we're going to go down. We're going to take a quick poke at Hype Cave instead first.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. This is a very quick item-rich check, and it can lead into something like Pyramid to Catfish, or just maybe checking other places in general. I don't know where he would go from there, actually.
Yeah, it's a little hard to say. Like, the one thing that I was thinking he might do would have been dash and go through the Kakariko portal, go take care of Thieves Town immediately, since he's got everything he needs to be able to do that. But he's going to get the flute there out of the first chest there in the back of Hype Cave, and also the Ether Medallion. So, starting to get close to what we need for possible go mode here, because okay, we need flippers.
We need flippers, Titan's Mitts, and Medallion pending. We might need Quake as well for Misery Mire.
And that's anyway. We need a sword. Yeah, at some point we need a sword, but yeah. All right, Ike, you're into the room there with our good friend, the Igors. There, as we found.
Oh, that is huge information for Will. He knows where the Titan's Mitts are.
Yeah, we have found Titan's Mitts, so that is that. Now, that's probably one of the best ways to find Titan's Mitts, is to find it, but not necessarily be able to get that, because if you end up getting, say, what was it? If you end up getting flippers here in the next couple of seconds, you can almost just assume that you're going to be in go mode until the moment you find a sword.
Yeah, at the very least, you can just rush GT.
Right. It's so much knowledge. It's so much knowledge right there that Will just got from that. So that is pretty good. We do need a fire source. That is correct. We do not have a fire source at the moment, and the game does require that. So we would need a lamp. That is one of those things you just kind of sometimes forget about. Is Ikir takes down Armos Knights. Very nice. Will taking 300 from Stumpy there, and is going to make his way back up. As that's crystal number 2 for Ikir there. 2 out of 7 that he's going to need for today.
Alright, so I think the ball is in Will's court right now, at least for now. Let's see what the show minigame has.
It's kind of hard to say exactly here, because, I mean, Ikir single dipping Eastern Palace is quite nice. Also does mean that when he wants to, he'll be able to take care of Pod immediately with that bow. On Will's side, it really just kind of depends on where are the flippers, and when does he go up to the mountain to go get that bow?
Well, I think it's safe to say that he'll go up to the mountain soon. Considering now the mountain is in Logic, he might think there's a lot of value over that way.
That's true. That's true for sure. The other option, though, is he might decide that, you know what, I'm going to put it off for just a little bit, just because I don't 100% know where my where that second sword is. If I can get that second sword before I go up there, I can go get my mitts and go through all of Hookshot Cave and everything else with that as well.
That is true, and because he knows where the Titan's Mitts are, he can risk not even if there was a sword out there, which we know there's not, at least not on the Light World side. There's very unlikely that all 3 swords are like in Hookshot Cave. So
yeah, he's gonna need at least one sword is somewhere before mitts, because he needs the sword to be able to get his mitts, right? We just don't know where. That's the thing.
Well,
hey,
there's our fire source.
All right.
Good spot for it, honestly.
Yeah, you're gonna take that. I mean, you'd love that even more if Moth was a crystal today, but since he's not, you're kind of hoping that you don't actually have to go back and kill Moth. But we'll see what happens here. Is we're gonna get a heart container there out of the brewery.
Well, at the very least, he knows that if he has to kill any pendant boss, it may be Coldstare because of the green pendant. But he knows the pet doesn't have anything for him, so he can just nope out after collecting the boss drop.
That's true. Yeah, you could just go ahead, save and quit immediately, not have to sit through that whole pendant cutscene there if he wants to. Yeah, it's a little bit of a time save, and at this point, especially when you're playing casual boots, I mean it's a faster mode. So like every little tiny little bit of tiny little bit you could save yourself is a big deal.
It really is. Any sort of mistake, any sort of little movement trick you can do, they all add up eventually to culminating just to having a better time overall than your opponent. And that's the kind of the trick you'll hear with casual boots is you can go really fast, but so can your opponent. So there's no sort of advantage to having the boots early or not, which can be a deciding factor in races sometimes. Now, at that said, he does have the flute, which means he has fast travel, which is another advantage in mobility over your opponent. So there could be a lead starting to form here between Will and Ike here, depending on how much use he gets out of that flute.
For me, it really kind of comes down to where is like it's too early for us to be talking about leads right now. We're speculating at best.
You're right, of course.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, because we just like it really comes down to what is the next item that we find here. Because if it turns out to be a sword for Will, then he knows, okay, my mitts are in logic, I can go grab that. But if Ikir also, and the same thing, I mean, I'm kind of expecting Ikir to take this route. He might take it to the north and check out Graveyard Ledge, and King's Tomb there. Either way, though, if he ends up finding a sword when he goes to Bombo's tablet here pretty soon, when he makes his way south, he's going to end up being able to just pick up those mitts in his first trip. Oh, that's an unfortunate grab there by that hand pinball.
Yeah,
ring. So,
Wallmaster got him.
That one in particular has a odd hitbox. I swear.
Yeah, I think I'm not gonna say that Will has the lead here, but I do think he at least does have the advantage because checking bombos just blindly doesn't really feel like a good play, especially when you know you can't get it. And there's our lamp. So both fire sources were in the Village of Outcasts area.
Of course. All right, so there we go. We got those. And Ikir made his way all the way back for the compass. So only getting one item out of Thieves Town. There is an item in the back here. And yeah, it does look like we are gonna go check out these north Dark World checks here real fast. And there we go. There is a sword on the ledge. So that's a find for Ike here. I think will probably be heading in that direction after this because he did come up through from Hype Cave.
Yeah, that will be a huge thing because that tells Will to go get his Titan's Mitts, and that allows him to have just a huge check advantage combined with a flute, which Ikir still doesn't have, and he'll have to wait till he goes all the way around to Hype Cave here. He might take a bit.
Yeah, this is just one case where like both runners there, as Will went ahead and took down his took down Blind there, as both runners have had kind of interesting suboptimal kind of unlucky choices, right? Will went into Eastern Palace looking for Moon Pearl and Lamp and everything like that, where Ikir broke the mountain, did get a bow, so he got to one shot Eastern there. As Will unfortunately pulling out his flute and fluting away. We're going down to 4 right now. Where exactly are we headed? Oh, he got a sword. Where did he get a sword?
Must have been on blind.
Or on... Was it on C-Shape House?
I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't not even paying attention. All of a sudden, I look down, and he's dashing with a blue sword, and I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, it was on blind. Thank you to Rilken again there.
Yeah, seeing the swords can sometimes be hard with all the explosions. Especially, I believe, Tempered Sword in particular is kind of hard to see.
Sometimes, yeah. If you get, especially on Cold Stare, if you get Cold Stare up in the corner there's times where you're just like, I got an item. I don't know what it was. So Will's going to grab his Titan's Mitts here, and I think this is the thing that pushes Will up to the mountain, maybe. Or he's going to go to check out what's in the Mire area. Okay, yeah, Mire area.
Yeah, Scout, get some information. Yeah, CCR shop is only 10 arrows. And Mire Medallion, it's Bomba, so we can go in there.
All right, so we are, at this point, flippers away from go mode here at just under 40 minutes. Not going to be in Mire Shed, though.
Well, no, Mo, but details. We'll have to find his bow. He finds the flippers first, still.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But, I mean, once he goes up to the mountain here, which I don't think he'll want to go. I don't know. Going into Misery Mire with the current equipment that he has, I mean, it's doable. I mean, he's got a cape. You can go. You can go through and do it. It's gonna be a little bit on the slow side, especially that kill of Vitreous there. But instead, we're just gonna go back and get this crystal that we left here a little bit earlier.
Yeah, overall, I do like going for the crystal here. So Ikir will be going up the Temper Sword, though, so that would have made the Vitreous fight a little bit easier for Will. But he decided to leave the area almost immediately for the Titan's Mitts, and I do not blame him for that either. If I knew where the Titan's Mitts were and I found my Master Sword on Bomb, I would have gone there immediately, too.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, pretty much the only decision that Will had was Mire or Mountain. It was one of those two there. So either way, he's gonna probably grab 2 crystals, because if you came down into this area, you can always just slap the cape on and press button until Vitreous dies.
And with Half Measure, that is a very feasible way to deal with the boss. Half Measure, of course, I believe, being here in Desert Palace, in fact, so...
Alright, down goes Landmo over there on Will's side. That's going to be crystal number 3 here. We're going to see some cape dashing from Ikir. They're using that to go ahead and grab through and up into the attic, as that's crystal number 3 for Will WC and to Infinity and Pgog.
Yeah, and I like what Will's doing here. Yeah. Yep. Okay, I see exactly what he's doing. He's setting up spooky action. Smart.
Yeah, it takes 2 seconds to go ahead and do there and make sure that you'll be able to skip a couple of rooms, assuming that you don't break it somehow here. And well, this won't break it.
No, and I believe fighting the land molars does break it, so that's why he had to go and set it up now.
Yeah, I know there's glitched players around here who would be a lot more, you know, a lot more able to explain exactly what will and will not break spooky. Spooky to me is just something that I know how to do. The reason why some of it works, I don't know. Thank you, Dante, for telling us exactly that. Crystal Catch does reset the variable, so yeah, Will being smart there and going ahead and grabbing the thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't claim to know all of the ins and outs of all the tricks. I just remember what I've heard previously.
I know the modes that I play in on. Unfortunately, glitched is not in my repertoire by any means.
I know of the glitches, I just don't perform them.
Hey, that's fair. That's completely fair. So we're gonna use the cape here to kind of walk over some stuff. Keep some sword beams there. Does make at least one room coming up a lot easier. As Ike into his blind fight here, he's gonna go on for his third crystal here in just a second. Takes down blind here with these 9 hits, following the script quite nicely.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, we were talking about a motion script here. Basically, blind, if you do the same actions every single time, he'll do the same reactions every single time, and thus the fight becomes pretty predictable. Although it can get out of control very quickly, so if you're not that skilled in it, you may still drop the pattern and have a bit of trouble with him. He's actually one of the more difficult bosses if you're not following that scripted pattern.
Yeah, no, blind in like Randomizer, where he already starts at the top of the room, and there's just nothing you can do about it. Yeah, he's not fun. As I think Will was counting items there, and we're gonna taking a bit of a gamble here. Here we got an item there out of the left side. Got a heart container. We're gonna see if we can find the second one here in Misery Mire, and maybe be able to skip the cutscene chest.
Maybe.
Ike, you're about to pick up his Cane of Burna there from Dig Game.
Yeah, 21 days for that, by the way. I counted when Will did it. And there is the second item. It is, in fact, Quake, so Medallion does not matter for Turtle Rock. If we need to go in there, we have it.
Man, we're kind of hoping we don't have to go in there, though, right?
Well, at this stage, Will is going to check Paradox Gate before he goes into Turtle Rock, so he will have knowledge of the bow. So if we ever dip Turtle Rock, it's just for the flippers, and the moment we find them, we are immediately going to nope out and go into go mode.
It's going to be a really awkward decision, though. You go up there, you're on top of the mountain, you find bow, and if you don't find flippers, you've got a choice in Will's case between going in there again. As it looks like Spooky is working quite well over on Will's side there. A little low on magic, though. Probably should have picked up that pot before heading back to this direction. But you're going to have that nasty choice there where you either go to up to the top into Turtle Rock at that moment because you've already gone that far, or you're gonna have to make your way back down the mountain to go into Pod and see if the flippers are there, and which might end up costing you another trip. As Will's gonna have to be a little careful here. Okay, putting on that cape, gonna slam that button as quickly as he can there. That magic bar will not go down as long as his
Now, I did find the Titan Smiths. We should mention this.
Yeah, no worries there. As long as he's pressing that button, the magic bar goes down much slower. And now we've got a very tense fight here, actually, because he's in Oko mode. But never mind, took it down. Good fight there on Will's side as Ike here picks up his flute and his ether medallion.
Wait, were we in a bit of tension there? Because I wasn't. He has a fairy in a bottle.
Oh, right. That's why he was being so aggressive. Okay, yeah. I forgot about that fairy.
Yeah, that was the fairy bottle on the race game, so...
I'm being told that I should have had my coffee this morning, and yeah, okay, yeah, I get it.
And it looks like Phil is now going to be doing the mountain, which means he will be getting his bow here shortly, and we'll be checking ether as well, which I don't think we've scouted yet. And the flippers could also be here on Dark Death Mountain too, so this is looking
quite good. If flippers are here on Dark Death Mountain, that's basically, go mode for Will at that point, because I mean he's picking up his bow right now, and yeah, we're gonna see exactly how this all works out here in a second here. It's unnecessary hammer dash. I approve.
Yeah, the only question is, if the bow's not here, or the flippers are not here, rather, where are they? And we'll find the final sword to get him to tempered level, because Master Sword Silverless is not a particularly fast fight, and Ikir might catch up on just the fact he's on tempered.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, hard to say exactly here. Is get a second bottle there out of the top of Paradox Cave, but that's it. All right, so the interesting things are about to get shown to us here in just a moment. Let's see what do we have in Super Bunny, and what do we have up in Hookshot Cave. Ikir makes their way into Misery Maya themselves. They're gonna go exactly into this, and he's gonna have an much easier time in Misery Maya with this tempered sword, with his bow and arrow there. When it comes to Kit and Viddy, that'll be that, and his Super Bunny Cave is well, a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, and even if he doesn't have enough magic to use the cave to stay safe during the eyeball, the first part of the Venturous fight, that second bottle of theirs, which Will picked up earlier, has a green potion in it by default, so he'll be able to restore his magic here pretty easily if he needs it. Hookshot Cave, meanwhile, only having a shield for us so far. Not really that important.
Okay, decision time.
Oh, I think he's going to blind check... Yeah, because he hasn't been over on the mountain here, so he's going to be blind checking Floating Island.
Yeah, this is an awkward decision here for Will. Now, Ikir's not going to have this decision because he's going to make his way back over to Pod in just a couple of minutes. But yeah, that is the red boomerang there. We're not even going to check Spiral Cave. We're fluting away.
Yeah, he's going to go into the Pod at Eastern Play now. I think this is the wisest choice, because right now that is the most item-dense dungeon.
It does, yeah. It does seem like probably the right choice to do by all means there. But there's a voice in the back of Will's head. I can almost guarantee that he's going, "Should I have gone into TR there?" Probably. There's gonna be a little voice in the back of his head, kind of going, "Oh God, what if it's just like the first chest in there?" Because a lot of times, something like that, it'll just be hanging out in like the fire in the the firelock side there, right in the front. All you had to do was go in for 2 seconds. But
yeah, now this Pod Easter play makes a lot of additional sense, because he'll also have the second of the 5/6 crystals, and we have yet to check Pyramid Fairy.
Yep, that's another good call right there. It could just be in Pyramid Fairy this entire time, because Desert being our 5/6, that was very much in logic. This is very much in logic right now, being in Eastern Palace. As here we go, we're gonna see a couple more boss fights here, as both runners are making their way back, and I guess this is probably a good time to make sure that go ahead and make sure to follow both of these runners here, and follow all of the SpeedGaming network of channels here. They are fighting in the first match between these two teams. So don't forget to track us, and To Infinity and Pgog there are fighting in game 1 of a best of 5 series that we are going to be broadcasting over the next week or so there, to see who is going to move on to the next round of the playoffs. And also big shout outs today to our tracker here, Relkin, who is clicking buttons behind the scenes and making sure that everybody knows exactly what the heck's going on.
That's right. All right, so this way we're gonna have entering our boss fight at the same time here. Yep, transition for transition there.
I was about to play a game of like which one's going to be faster, but it's going to be Armos Knights. I mean, Biddy takes a little bit longer to do, not a ton longer, as we're gonna have some. We're gonna have, I think, crystal raises at the same time here in just a second. Is Will gonna finish his first? Hey, there we go.
Nice little high five there as they collect their crystals, and Will is probably gonna go straight into pod here. Alright, so this is potentially the moment of truth here. If the last sword and flippers are here, then Will's going to be in a pretty good position. Silver arrows would also not be a bad thing to find either. He needs to have some form of extra combat here in the long term. Because I'm just going to say it outright, I don't like doing Master Sword Silverless Ganon. I can do it if I have to, but 70 plus spins? Yeah, can I have Temper Sword, please, at least?
Yeah. I don't blame you at all there. It's not a fun fight. It's not overly hard when you get to a certain level, but it is like you said, it's 70 plus 52 spins, 52 spins or 70 or whatever. It takes forever. It's long. It's not what I would call something I enjoy doing. if I can avoid it.
It feels like it's 70 there because it's 12 from the first phase, 12 from the second, another 4 to advance phase 3, and then another 24 just to get through phase 4.
It's a lot, as Will is trying to see which one of who's going to die first, the mimic or himself there with those bow shots. Turns out it's going to be the mimics there, so well done, Will.
Yep, nicely done. And so far, nothing to speak of here in pod. It was bow lock though, at least. So wise call to go with the mounted first.
All right, no big key either, so we're gonna have to continue on our way as we get to see a fun little Samaria clip there on Will's side. That is surprisingly forgiving as Ikir picks up his next crystal there.
Yeah, and I believe that is one of the few things that are allowed in the randomizer exclusively in terms of tricks.
Yeah, that Samaria is used for so many different things there. Like the glitch stick moniker that it got at one point there is well earned. All right, still nothing in here. And Ikir is about to join Will inside pod here, so we're talking about the difference between these two runners is slight, and like you've mentioned before here, it's starting to look like that tempered sword difference might be substantial. The sword that Will did not find is on Bumper Cave right now. It's sitting there right in the open, but Will never had a real reason to go up into that area because picking up his second sword off of Blind meant that he, with the knowledge of where the Titansmith's there on Bombo's tablet, he had no reason to go keep looking for stuff. So Ikir, coming from the north side when he came through and did his initial Dark World checks, did go to Bumper Cave, pick up that sword, and then picked up the second sword, his third sword, off of Blind. So that is the big advantage you're seeing between these two runners, and kind of really the time difference between these two as well. Because Ikir's a little bit behind, but that's the time that it took to go over towards the North Dark World side here, I think. You know, a couple of other things as well, possibly there, because Will did check Dark Death Mountain. So that's your hour kind of your review there if you're just joining us of what's been going on, because it looks like we're going to have an exciting finish at this point.
Yeah, it's a single item hunt for the flippers, which at this point it's either here, Pyramid Fairy, or Shovel, or Turtle Rock. I think those are our only locations left. Well, and actually I say that, I don't think anyone's checked Ether Tablet once again. Will was up there, but I don't think he ever went across the bridge to check it.
I mean, Will didn't even check Spiral Cave. I mean, he just decided, you know what? Forget it. I'm checking these big ones. I'm not doing Spiral Cave. Spiral Cave is for suckers, man. I mean, there are places still remaining for our runners there. But it's gonna come down to like it looking like it's not here in Pod means we've got the big question of, okay, then where is it?
Now, we do, of course, have Central Dark World as well, with the Pyramid and Catfish as well. We haven't seen those yet either.
We gotta throw the shovel in there.
Yeah, considering the Super Bomb, we'll probably be seeing those shortly. I can imagine that being the next move here from both of our runners.
I'm just gonna say right now it's in TR.
You really want to be in TR. I
No,
have that suspicion too, to be fair, but I kind of wanted to be somewhere nicer at the very least.
I would like to be wrong. I'd like to be wrong, because if it's in TR, I'm kind of wondering for these runners' sakes whether or not it's gonna for Will, if it's in TR, that's probably pretty close to a last location, I think. Now for Ikir, he's got a better reason to go up there because he didn't do Dark Death Mountain, right? And him going up there, that's gonna pull him, I think, to Turtle Rock earlier. I think that's what would happen there. Or maybe the game could just be nice and not put it in a terrible location, and it could just be really easy for these guys. And like, Pyramid's fine. I think Pyramid's fine. Pyramid's fine, right?
Well, we're about to find out as Serum is being transferred.
It looks like Ikir got the weird hop off the side there, where every once in a while, if you hit the wrong pixel, that you hop off in a very strange manner. Somehow don't get the actual leap to the other part of that ledge, and you end up just kind of smacking against, falling right down the pit.
Only 10 mirrors on the pyramid, and what's inside is the big question now. We have the Tempered Sword. There's the fourth one, and the armor upgrade. So, not necessarily required, but that evens up the combat advantage at least.
I mean, you're not putting it back.
Nope.
I mean, that is very good for Will, I'd say.
Yeah, and aptly cited, it is very much a vanilla-ish sword, because that is where one of the sword upgrades is in normal gameplay. It's on the pyramid. Normally it's the gold sword, but he could have had gold sword but severed by now. Catfish now coming up.
Yep. Kind of wonder if after Catfish, Will's going to think about going back towards the King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge area and hookshot and back across here. It looks like that might be what he's doing. Ikir into his Homosaur fight here. It's going to pick up his 6th crystal, and then he's going to join Will in the great, all right, so where the heck is it, hunt.
Yeah, now, at the same time here, I think it is up on Death Mountain. I think that's all we have left.
Well, we got Smith Chain.
I that's right, Smith Chain.
We've got... I'm trying to think of something else that's really jumping out at me besides Smith Chain, but I mean, yeah, that's not up on the mountain at least. Because the good news for our runners is we can eliminate one thing. We can eliminate Ice Palace, because you need flippers to go in there. Everything else is still open. Ikir, remembering I just got the shovel out of pod. I'm gonna go check the shovel. This is one thing that is not on the mountain. There is also that second item in Skull Woods where it could also be.
Yeah, the shovel could be checked on the way to Smith Chain here, so maybe Ikir's thinking that.
I think it's this big bomb as well. I think you were right in the first point there is Will's gonna pick up, or at least stare at the 300 rupees here. Probably make his way over to Bumper Cave, look up and go, yeah, I'm not getting that.
He'll probably go see it and go, oh, and then move on.
Yeah, one of those where you look at it and you go, oh, that would have been nice earlier. Oh, well. Okay, thanks, game. Man, this is the time that you hate to be playing Rando, because you're one item away. You're in a highly stressful situation like this, and you're trying to figure out what to do. Now, Will has not been into Skull Woods right now, so this is going to even up I feel like this will even up the entire match really quickly here, because he's about to do a lot of the checks that Ikir did earlier. And I mean, man, we're going to see exactly what this turns into.
At the same time, though, Ikir didn't have the fire rod at the time. He went straight here. So Will can go to the back and do some checks.
All right, now, where is Ikir going to go? This is the big question here. Ikir is heading up the mountain here. So this is Dark Death Mountain. This is a whole bunch of stuff, as Ikir did pick up his things from a Pyramid Fairy. So he's on Butter Sword and Red Mail as well. So, you know, we don't have silvers, but bleh. nobody really cares at this point, I think.
No, I don't think so either. Now, if you're Will, do you go to the back?
I feel like you've come this far. Like, he's gonna get this. He's gonna get this item here out of the Skullwood's big key chest, right? Ikir gonna go ahead. We're gonna check Spike Cave first.
Makes sense to me.
Takes it down to 1 heart. Throws on his blue cane here.
And there's one item. I don't think we saw the second item. Oh, it's a blue potion. Nice on the way up, but we're just gonna reset.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're not gonna put it back, but you're like, that's not what I'm looking for.
I mean, it's still nice to have a free full restore.
Oh yeah, no. You're completely fine. And okay, so Will is gonna take this all the way into the back of Skull Woods here, looking for the second item. And man, one of these guys, because we got 2 runners going in different ways. Will's gonna have to go beat Moth now, because the second item, of course, is on Mothula, because seeing everything else in Skull Woods. We're gonna get a quick ether tablet check over on Ikir's screen real fast. Is this the flippers?
And it is not. It's only a heart piece here. That is unfortunate for Ikir, because that was one of the few things that Will did not check. So that means there is a little bit of a window here for Will to finish the boss and then climb the mountain to go to Turtle Rock, because I believe this is the last. This is going to be the last check for both runners here at this point, unless Will decides to go to Smith Chain first, because he does have access to King's Tomb, or not King's Tomb, but Hammer Pegs. Very clean moth fight there as well.
That's a good one, but it's unfortunately just a piece of heart. Gonna pick up the crystal here. I'm wondering, is this we're gonna mirror out, or are we gonna make our way into? Are we gonna make our way down and start doing Smith Chain?
Well, Ikir is gonna go into Turtle Rock, and he's not. No, he's gonna mirror at least here. So yeah, this looks to be Smith Chain to me. From Will. And Ikir is only opening Turtle Rock. He's not going in. He might do it after checking all the other checks here.
I feel like he's going in here immediately after this, and this is going to be the moment that with both of these guys doing opposite things. I understand from Will's perspective, not rushing back up to Turtle Rock because I mean he was up there earlier. In his head, he's going, if my opponent went into Turtle Rock early, I've already lost, sort of thing. So I'm kind of wondering if that's the play that he's making here.
Yeah. Why is he not saving quitting? Because he's already in the region here. So he's going to just go and get all this done and taken care of.
Alright, Ike, you're picking up his junk out of Hookshot Cave real quick.
Hammer pace coming down. Is it here at Hammer Pegs? No. Ike, you're now entering Turtle Rock. This is coming down to a matter of checks here. If Will finds it first, they're in go mode, and that's gonna be huge. If they don't find it in these Smith chain checks, it's gonna be an Ike's court, I think.
I mean, I would say the good news for Will in this case is that if he doesn't find it, he knows it's in Turtle Rock, so he'll be behind, but it won't be I'm behind and I have a lot of other things to check necessarily. Like he'd have Spiral Cave and everything else, but I think he'd just honestly rush Turtle Rock at that point. I don't think he does Spike Cave or anything like that. On Ike's side, he would he might, okay, yeah, it's it's not here. Where's Will going to? Oh, he's got to go check Shovel. Okay,
yeah, I think it has to be Turtle Rock here. I can't think of any other location. No, they've checked Cave South of Grove, I believe. Yeah, no, it's here in Turtle Rock. So the ball isn't Ike's court here. He just doesn't know it yet.
Actually, is there an item in the basement of Hera?
Ooh, good question.
There is an item in the basement of Hera, I think. Yeah, because we got Bombos off of...
Yeah, we got Bombos off of
Moldorm.
I don't recall seeing the second item, you're right.
We didn't get anything else, though. There is an item in the basement of Hera.
Hail Mary from Will here? He's gonna check Eats at the very least.
So... all right.
He's going in.
Ooh, here's a play right here.
Spicy, but I think Will's making the right call here, because if it isn't Turtle Rock, he pretty much knows that his opponent's probably in there by now, or has already been in there, so he's trying to do a little bit of Maverick routing here and just hoping that he pulls a miracle.
Yeah, I mean, it is starting to be... if Will can pull the flippers out of this, he'll definitely have a large advantage, because for Ike here, at this point, deep into Turtle Rock, like already 2+ minutes into Turtle Rock, they're not mirroring for the thing, going for that kind of, it's a time save if it's there, play where you go in there. The answer is it's not in the basement of Hera. It's just a heart container. That's not great for Will.
No, and I think that sets it up. I don't think there's any other location than my memory that we have not checked, so this is going to be a Turtle Rock Flippers check. And it's looking like it's going to be at least Laser Bridge. It's death.
Will showing off the different uses of the red cane. You can push it across spikes there. It's not typically the most useful way to do it, but...
Yeah, I think you just grabbed the wrong cane there.
Oh, yeah, I'm just teasing him for later. All right, we are on to Laser Bridge at this point on Ikir's side because it's still no flippers.
Yeah, we know it has to be either Laser Bridge or Trinix at this point. Unless there's some check that both of us have somehow forgotten. And I don't think there is.
Yes. Rack my brain here really quick. Yeah, but I don't think we've seen. I think we've seen everything. Is what I meant to say there. I don't think we've missed anything.
Here we
So
go, Laser Bridge.
doing some laser skips. Gonna get a key here, so just in case it's on Trinex, we can now get there. It's a compass in the second one. 50 rupees in the third.
And
Well-
Trinix makes an appearance, I believe, tonight.
You know, we did get that ice rod as the very first check of the game. But tis.
The worst part is I think you're right. We did get that in Link's house, so...
Yep. This is Rando at its finest, baby. Green Pendant is not alive because it is Ice Palace, unfortunately, today. And we're going to need flippers to get in there.
Yeah, logically speaking, flippers cannot be behind a flipper's lock location. Even if it is easy to sequence break in there with the fake flippers, it's not possible for the logic to put it there because it doesn't take any glitches into account. It just assumes that you have zero glitch knowledge.
All right, 1, 2, 3 with the gold sword for Ikir here as Trinix explodes. Slowly explodes.
And there they are. That
There
is
you
Gomo
are.
for Ikir.
All right, and immediately saves and quit. Doesn't want to do any sort of pendant lifting up in the air there. That, like you mentioned, go mode for Ikir at about the 115.30 mark. We'll say 115.30 here. As Will is making his way through Turtle Rock. Unfortunately for him, this is going to check every single chest here. Kind of got a little bit unlucky with his routing today there. It is not that he routed poorly, it's just that incorrectly. And that's the story of Rando. It's you make your guess, and sometimes it doesn't work out in your favor, it looks like here. Now, match is not over. Crazy things have happened in this thing, but Ikir does have a pretty commanding lead.
Yeah, and even if Will loses here, his other two teammates and two Pgog could pull up a win here and force a game 4.
This is where I start pulling up the list here for what's going on in the next couple of days. There, we've actually got the second match between these two teams coming up here. Let's see here, I got to do a little bit of math real fast. I guess it's going to be about 2 hours from 2 hours. Yeah, more or less 2 hours from now. That's going to be Relkin and PRD Wong. That's going to be the Pseudo Boots cross keys there. That will be a ton of fun. And that's the only one else that I see on the schedule between these two teams. But like we said before, make sure go ahead, follow all of the Speed Gaming network of channels there if you're enjoying watching this rando content, because there is going to be a lot of it here going into the playoffs. You're going to be seeing top runners going at each other in really fun modes here. And also make sure, of course, to follow these two runners here, Ikir and Will WC here, who are actually, you know, doing the hard work today, because me and Wolfling are just talking and Relkin's sitting there. Actually, okay, Relkin's doing hard work too.
Yeah, in fact, I just double checked here, and it looks like all 3 of their matches were tonight for their pendant players. So Oh, one of them's already happened, and one of them is still to come. So, no spoilers as to who won those races, but it's looking like at least Ikir will score at least 1 point there, and depending on what happened earlier or later, we could have a point for Divinity Pgog and Forza Game 4. We just don't know yet at this point in time.
Lips. Flippers were our go mode item today, and they were on Trinex with our ice rod being in Link's house. As you can see, it's also a pendant Trinex because game likes to have jokes. Alright, Ike, you're going into the back of here of Swamp Palace, fighting his good friend and yours, Argus here.
Oh wait, no, I misspoke. I'm sorry. I saw the wrong name there. Team names there. The third match has not happened yet for these two.
Alright, Argus is exploding there over on Ikir's side there, as Will unfortunately takes a little tumble. And that is 7 crystals there for Ikir. Will gotta be a bit careful here. Red mail is good and all, but dying is not recommended.
No, I would say take the safety door if you're going to be here. Oh, he's playing risky.
Well, he does have that. I mean, like you mentioned to me earlier, he does have that fairy. All right, now
True.
he does have 2 hearts.
Yeah, he might chuck the blue potion here, although there is a full magic just before Trinex.
All right, and I'm seeing a couple of numbers in chat here. I guess we should probably mention that there. It's not as much as it used to be, but we do play a little guessing game. Get numbers into chat from 1 to 22 of where you think the GT Big Key will be. It's going to be somewhere in GT basement. We don't know exactly where. You've got until Ikir opens the seal on Ganon's castle, and then we're going to basically put a little stop on it there.
Yeah, where do you think it's going to be, Days Cloud, actually? Oh, speaking of, but hold the thought there. Will does take a death using that fairy, so does no longer have it. I have to be a little bit careful now.
Yeah, no more hugs there for Trinex would be nice. As going to take an immediate another hug.
Is that a hug or a bite? Can't really tell.
As a nibble. Love bite? Yeah. Love bite.
So, as the seal is broken here, what do you think it's going to be, Dazed?
Me? Give me 10. 10 seems to work. Sometimes. 10? Yeah.
I'll go a little bit sooner. I wanted to make it, let's make it 5.
Ooh, yeah, 5 would be good. 5 would be good. All right, Will has picked up his flippers. He is in go mode as Ikir is opening up the tower right now. Yeah. Gonna make his way into this. Gonna head to Hope Room first here. See if we can get a key and maybe go on from there.
Well, there's our 4th and final bottle and a small key. Gonna continue to the right side, it looks like. And looks to be about, based on when Ikir hit go mode first, about maybe a 5 to 6 minute difference here. So that is pretty much a full GT climb with a full clear on the basement. So pretty solid lead here for Ikir going into GT.
Yeah, it just kind of all came down to Ikir making not having mitts the first time he went up the mountain. There meant that he had more reason when he came back with mitts to actually go into GT to get not GT to go into TR there.
And we saw a green pile of 20 rupees there. I believe that would have been our actual 4 sword if one had not been provided to us beforehand. I forgot about that.
Nice place for it.
Nice place for it, yeah.
Well, either way, we're making our way left side over on Ikir's screen here. Gonna see what this would be. This would be chests. Math. 9 to 12, I think.
That sounds about right, yeah.
And it looks like both of us are wrong here, so it looks like this this big key is not in the front. We're gonna have to start jumping into the back here.
Oh, we were being told that's the boost replacement. My mistake.
It's not. Yeah, it's not a logical thing. It's just something they threw in there. It doesn't have any impact on logic because if it did, this whole seed would be broken thanks to that desert key.
Yeah, true.
Okay, still making our way back through here over on Ikir's side. It's kind of one of those times where I'll start wondering, thinking about everything that we've seen here. I guess Ikir did open a few chests in Swamp Palace. He obviously didn't open up left side or anything. So kind of wondering if we're gonna see Silvers make a dramatic appearance here somewhere in GT.
Not 100% sure. I mean, at this point, it's either here in Swamp Palace, in Ice Palace, or else. But there's the big key. I lost count. I think we're both wrong, though.
14, I think that is. That would be 14. Yeah, first chest there in Rando Room gets you the win there. Pay number 14 with the win here. Let me scroll all the way back up there. Looks like first person to get that right would be Dash X Magnum there. MLNTN also got 14 there, so well done to you guys. Good luck. Good luck there.
Alright, Argus is down. And Ike here is starting the ascent to Aghanim 2. Gonna be quite... Yeah, this is gonna be pretty good here. Smooth sailing from this point onward, I would say. Gold sword, red armor, red shield. Should have no issues whatsoever climbing the tower with the gauntlet.
You got 15 hearts. Probably gonna be fine. Probably gonna be fine there. So,
oh yeah. I would
Yeah.
say that he's gonna be super fine because he still has the green potion he still has his fairy. He still has also the blue potion, and in addition to that, the fourth bottle he found here in GT was a red potion, so he can just use that to top off if he needs to.
And if I'm seeing that right, some of these guards are on the magic pot. Oh no, okay, so no, they're on the the Stalfos are on the big
one.
pack. Yeah, the high value one, right? And then it looks like actually are all of them on there? I guess not. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, I think the Zazaks are in the same item group. Well, maybe not. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Either way, that's man. That is a gauntlet where you could just go nuts with the fire rod. Just have fun with it.
Yeah, plenty of magic here. No real worry about running out anytime soon.
You can see the nerves though starting to kick in a little bit there on Ikir's side. There's just a little bit of, oh god, it's 126. He was on Shrine X. I'm not feeling great about this. This is the playoffs. I mean, there is a different set of nerves that kick in League. At least I've found personally, because you're not just playing for yourself, you're also playing for your team. So that sort of feeling really can get to you there. And then these guys have practiced this GT climb hundreds of times. They've completed so many seeds, but as you can see, like Ikir just a little shakier than usual, I would say, climbing up this right now, when honestly with good reason.
Yeah, he's on pace for a sub 145 time here, which is pretty good, all things considering. Now, it looks like Will is going full left. I'm not 100% sure he went right, but yeah, this will save him a bit of time overall. There's the Silvers. Well, that seals the deal. Ganon is going to be an absolute joke, and it looks like Will is doing what we call the Dark Magician route. So he's starting with the Stalfos room and then going right.
All right, Moldorm 2 down. Ike, you're across the gap there on to fight Agatu. They're going to fight a wizard that likes to split himself into 3 and think that it makes the fight harder when in fact it makes the fight much easier. So, well done there.
Yeah, Aghanim 2 coming up now at just under an hour and 29 minutes here. This is just an amazing pace here for them as we go into the Aghanim 2 fight. Looking like a good pattern here to start things off. Only gets a double, but still great control of the projectiles. Misses there, unfortunately, on the second cycle. Line up pretty good here on cycle 3. Gets the double and dodges the blue shot. Very nicely done. So this might be a 2022. Hey, 2022.
That made me laugh more than it should have, probably.
It's almost over, so
yeah. I mean, it fits, honestly. You're in December, might as well get that through there. All right, Ganon about to bust through the pyramid here, as Will is making his way almost to Rando room now here. So looks like Ike is going to have this probably well in hand here. We got silver arrows. We got pretty much everything you could possibly want for this fight here. We got gold sword, which means that you only need 6 slashes in phases 1 and phases 2 to go ahead and take care of this. We're gonna do some spins because why the heck not?
yeah, there is no such thing as level 5 damage. I think the only exception that is on Hinoxes specifically, but they die in one hit the bombs anyway.
Alright, Will going ahead, picking up his big key, picking up his mirror shield, and being laughed at because he's got the mirror shield.
Alright, third hit coming in here. Yeah, this is going to be pretty well locked up here. Although Ganon is deciding to be a little rude with the teleports.
Gets the first one in there, goes for the nice tricky thing there. It's gonna just settle for the single right there. Could have tried to squeeze in another thing in there, but gets the double there to finish off Ganon. Keeps him in the corner there. I can see that Ikir has played this game once or twice. He's holding his sword up into the air, and that means go ahead and get your GGs into chat for Ikir, who is going to take game 1 of this best of 5 set between Don't Forget to Track Us and To Infinity to Pgog. He's going to take that with a time of 1:31:06. Get your GGs into chat.
It looks like we are now joined by, I believe, our winner here, Ikir. GG's to you. An amazing race.
Thank you. That was a fun one.
So, flippers on Trinex, eh?
Yeah, Will asked me to roll the siege. He only has himself to blame.
Yep, that's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, I mean, I've played your seeds before. I am well aware of how lovely they tend to be.
Oh yeah, especially Ice Rod in Link's house. I mean, the first item you get. Why would
I mean, it was telling you. It was telling you from the word go.
Sure was.
But I mean, other than the ridiculous Trinex flipper go mode there, how were you feeling through the mid part of that?
Mid part, after getting Dark World access was fine. Going up to Dark World access, I'm like, what is going to be the progression? It's going to be a lamp. I kept expecting to find a lamp because we had cape and a sword, and going through getting Moon Pearl on Pyramid would also be in one of my seeds. But doing the mushroom into the powder was very funny. Get Dark World access, but after that, it felt really good. Everything just flowed smoothly and came down to just needing the flippers.
Yeah, we were worried for a little bit there because Will did scout before having Master Sword the location of the Titan's Bits there on Bombo's tablet, and you made the call to go there almost, I believe, after Thieves Town, which ended up proving to be very advantageous for you. So, walk us through that thought process there for a bit.
I'm guessing he went immediately to Hype Cave then when he got Dark World access instead of
Yeah.
in Village of Outcasts. I mean, I was right there in Village of Outcasts. I got the hammer, so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to start here. I've already been to the mountains, so I know Thieves Town is a crystal. Let's go with may have something in it, so we'll just do both of those. We'll check the top of Dark World because I've seen too many things be there for it to be an issue or to be something I skip, especially like hammers and Graveyard Ledge. Finding that sword was nice because that means, okay, cool, I got the book. I can just do all the tablets while I'm on the way, and it worked out. So yeah, having that Master Sword early really helps. Yeah, I really just went from there.
Yeah, honestly, the biggest I'd say difference between your route and Will's all came down to you getting hookshot before going over to Eastern meant that when you took that hookshot, went back up to Paradox Cave, meant you got the bow, right? So, but it also meant that Dark Death Mountain was just something that you hadn't completed, where Will waited on it, and in this case honestly kind of got punished for it because when you went back up there, you had basically every incentive in the world to go into TR.
Yeah, there was usually I do Eastern area first because I mean it's a route. I mean, Saha into Eastern is something I do on open, but you know we're standard, so we don't really have an incentive to go over there until you get the bow. And when I found that hook shot in desert after getting the book, it's like, okay, book. I go to desert. I find the hook shot. I'm like, oh crap! Somebody could have had this and been to the mountain and just done all the right side way early instead of doing the route that I did, which I guess Will also did, going to Harry immediately. So yeah, having all that stuff to check up on Dark Death Mountain meant that when I was just looking for Flipper's Gobo, it's like, okay, that's where the bulk of the items are. I could do Smith Chain, but why? And I did Pyramid Berry because we had Eastern and Hera as our red crystals here. The first two I had done like the first 15 minutes. Might as well check that first. And it had good items. I think Butter Sword and Red Mail. But then I just immediately went to the mountain because that's where like the bulk of items were. Yeah. So I think that really did help me out because that meant I did Turtle Rock right away.
Yeah, another thing that helped you out was, as you said, you did have that northern route and getting the sword on Buffer Ledge. And that ended up proving to be quite the boon for you in the long run because after doing Blind, I believe Will just did not bother checking North Hyrule until he was in item hunt mode. Or North Darkworld, so he never got Temper Sword. In fact, he is currently on he never got his Temper Sword until Pyramid Fairy, rather.
I honestly forget where the third sword was.
There was a sword on Blind, there was a sword on Bumper Ledge, and there was a sword on Pyramid Fairy left.
Oh, there was one on Blind, yes. Okay. Yeah, so I had Tempered after Blind. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. You could have gotten that one and gone south. Yeah, just routing differences, I think is what this one came down to.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. And Will has gone ahead. He stuck his fourth silver arrow there into Ganon. He's holding his sword up into the air. Go ahead, get your GGs into chat for Will WC, who's going to cross the line in just a second here with a time of 1:36:55.
Yeah, just an overall great race between these two runners here. Really well done. And we are now joined by Will. GG's to you once again, and great race.
Thanks, GG's Iker.
GG, Will.
Yeah, so just trust that Ice Rod and Link's house, huh?
Basically.
Yeah, so I believe how it went is you went to Blind, you got the Master, and then because you had prior knowledge of where the Titans were, you immediately went over there to get them. And as a result, you inadvertently missed the pretty easy to grab Tempered Sword off of Bumper Ledge.
Well, I got the slightly less easy to grab Tempered off of Pyramid Fairy, and got to have a nice double take when I saw the gold sword on top of Bumper. That was fun, right?
Yeah, that was fun. And
when I got sorry to cut you off there. When I saw the mitts there at Bombos, obviously I was going to continue my route up north anyway, but at that point it was like, whenever I find a sword and have a good chance to go back for those, I'm going to go there and then get up to the mountain like ASAP. So getting that sword meant I'm just going to finish the village, leave the rest of North Dark World untouched, and go get mitts, go into Mire, get all that done, then go up the mountain. So for me, I felt like my route was set at that point to just kind of do what I had to do. And, at that point it was just, I got the bow over in Paradox, and I think I heard you guys kind of discussing, but like I had a lot less incentive at that point to go into TR. Being that I just got the bow, had an untouched pod, and was just the flippers for go. So, I tried to kind of do a density play up on East Death Mountain there, and hoping that it would, hoping that I could just kind of clear crystal dungeons and just find go mode on the way. So after that, I had to kind of decide between, do I do the whole Dark World loop or do I go back to the mountain? And I was just kind of thinking like, there's a world where Ikir gets to do the mountain early, or gets to do like TR earlier than I do. So let's go for Dark World. And I mean, I felt like I played the odds okay, but just didn't work out.
Yeah, that happens sometimes with Randomizer, to be fair. But otherwise, a really great race. I believe you were actually also the first one to enter Dark World as well. So,
yeah, that was a kind of goofy chain at the beginning, but I think I routed it okay, given what we, the knowledge we had. It sounds like Ikir did a very similar route, just with like kind of slight differences in the order, but he and I both had, went straight up to Hera, and then it was just kind of, how did we get across the world after that? But cute little sequence there, and I didn't feel bad locating the pearl where I did. It was just kind of like, I don't think anyone's getting that super early in that seed unless you play some really goofy opening.
No, I agree there. You have to go into Eastern to get the mushroom, I think. It was at Saha?
Yeah, it was at Saha.
You have to go turn it in, get the hammer, and then do Kakariko. Who does Kakariko?
I was gonna say I almost saved quit because I was thinking maybe, at the point that I did the mushroom turn in, I only had the desert area left, and I was thinking, man, maybe I just go save and quit to Magic Bat and see if, like a fire source is over there, or, something that lets me at least complete desert in one go. So I kind of wish I had done that. It would have been a couple minutes earlier in the Dark World and a single dip of desert, but that wouldn't have been the difference in the race anyway. That TR, just with how my routing worked out, was going to get left to the end no matter what.
Yeah, and of course, this is the playoffs here, and you still have your match. I believe your Wisdom matches is later tonight with your team, your two teams here, happening in about an hour and a half's time, I believe.
Yeah. Yep. Gonna count on our buddy Relkin to pick me back up on that one, and then Humbug will be playing, I guess, this weekend with PRD or Purdy.
Oh, it is this weekend. Okay,
I think
Humbug plays with Flip Heel this weekend.
Oh, Flip Heel.
PRD
okay.
and Relkin are going on.
My bad. Yep. So yeah, that'll be fun. Hopefully we'll at least be even at the end of the night and not down 2-0. That's the scary part of this now, is I just gonna have to sit back and be nervous for the rest of the night.
Yeah, we need to force that game forward, but hey, it'll happen, and hopefully it'll happen rather, and then you guys can make a comeback here.
Yeah, mostly I just want to play co-op Retrits again.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Don't care how we get there.
Yeah, thanks to Dave Scott Wolfling for commentating, and Relkin for tracking, and I'll be tracking your race later tonight too. Good luck to you.
Yeah, once again, folks.
Oh, go ahead.
Once again, folks, make sure to follow our 2 runners here in the chat. They put an excellent race for us tonight. Of course, make sure to follow SpeedGaming at SpeedGaming 2 through 6 so you don't miss any racing action, not just the ALTTPR Randomizer League. And like we've been mentioning here, coming up here in about an hour and a half on SpeedGaming at 10:40, we have the next match between these two teams. That'll be their Wisdom match, which is Pseudoboots Cross Keys. That will be Relkin going up against PRD Wong. We got some pretty good commentary set up for you guys as well. And Ikir, of course, you're going to be a little bit busier because I believe you are one of our trackers for that race tonight.
I am.
All right, so it's going to be a good time there. And then, of course, folks, in our next race on the schedule is, of course, still to be determined. But if we do get a restream for it, it will be Team Hime versus Team Perfect Unadulterated Gaming Squad. Kermit versus Dante. That'll happen at around 1 o'clock Eastern Time. So make sure you get some good sleep tonight and wake up a little bit early to make sure you can catch that match. And of course, make sure to follow our tracker, Vulcan, my co-counter Days Cloud, doing an excellent job of the commentary. Glad to work with you. And of course, you can follow me as well. From all of us here in the Late to Fast Randomizer League, I have been Wolfling0370, and we shall see you all next time, and thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.